Hey, what's up everybody? This is Brian Maxey. Hey, today's video is going to be the top 5 most common marketing styles. And so if you're familiar with one of the ebooks that I wrote, it's floating around somewhere. I did an ebook on 10 types of marketing. This one I'm just going to narrow down so it's a shorter video, and I'm going to do the top 5 that I think are probably the most important for you to know about. And so let's start right away with number 1. Number 1 is mass media. And so a lot of people, when they think of marketing or advertising, they think of mass media. They think I got to be on television, radio, billboards, right? There's pros and cons to this. Obviously, all of those platforms are going to give you a lot of eyes and ears, right? And probably a lot of eyes and ears for much cheaper per eye and per ear than other platforms. But the big problem here becomes, are those the eyes and ears of your customers? You don't know. And when you combine that with the fact that most people don't know how to actually message what they want to get to their ideal customer, all of a sudden you fall into a fucking money pit, right? Where you're just throwing tens of thousands of dollars at billboards and nobody calls you. All right, so mass media is the idea of getting your message, whatever it is, okay, out to as many people as you possibly can. You try to do it for as cheap as possible, and ad salespeople will sit there and use the term impressions, and they'll say you're going to get X number of impressions for your money. It can be good, and it could be great if you're using it for, let's say, a branding style thing where you just you're the attorney in town and you want people to constantly see you and know you. That could really work out well. If you have a more direct communication that needs to go to a very specific customer base, you may not hit that customer base. Or you may do it, but it may cost you a lot because you're hitting so many other non-customers in the process that it might be a waste. But that's what mass media is. Mass media is literally going to the masses through television, radio, billboards, all of those types of things. Make sense? Good. Moving on. Number 2. Number 2 is going to be online marketing. So online marketing is just that. It's marketing online. It's not necessarily its own style, because you can still bring other styles of marketing to the online platforms. But online platforms, the social medias, right? Your Google searches and things like that, getting into YouTubes, all of these types of platforms make up the online arena. The problem there, you still have to have an overall ad campaign. You have to have an overall message. You still have to have people that you're shooting for. And it's very, very complicated and technical, and you probably need some help there. And even if you are really, really knowledgeable in all of the different areas across online, it's going to take so much time to properly do every single one of those pieces of the online campaign. It becomes a full-time job in itself. So again, pros and cons to everything. But with online, you can target more to specific customers. You can get your message here to this one customer right here, and he's the only person you talk to, and it may cost a little bit more per eye and ear than mass media, but you're getting your message to your customer and nobody else. So again, there's pros and cons. That is a very tough thing though, to get to know all of the different aspects. So you start talking about Google AdWords and shit like that, and people are like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Pay-per-click? What the fuck is that? Is that the UFC fight? I don't get it. So again, pros and cons, all right? But online obviously is huge. It's the platform I'm currently using as we speak, right? Number 3, branding. So branding is the idea that you are not going to sell something right now. I'm not pitching you on that you should go buy my service. Branding is just getting my name and my face in your head. That's branding. So branding is when you see that attorney on the billboard over and over and over and over and over. They're branding themselves. That's why a lot of these attorneys and shit like that, you can sing their song. I know you can. You probably see the billboard and you start singing, oh, 702. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? I fucking hate that shit. It's stuck in your head for fucking hours. They're fucking assholes like that. But that's branding, okay? So when you can recognize a logo, that's because they have branded it. It's literally branded in your fucking brain, all right? To give you an idea, again, because branding now can take on many shapes. You can use it through mass media. You can use it through online. You can use it through other mediums. And so to give you an idea, what I do, if you follow my work, I do online branding. It's very, very rare that I pitch a service. I don't come on my videos and say, hey, go buy my book, it's all fresh on sale. It's very rare that I do that. Many of you just like my videos because I give you information, good solid information about being a better person, being better in your business, and you turn around and you go buy my book because you're probably fucking interested. I'm giving good information. But that's what I do. I don't sit here and give you a sales pitch. I combined branding and online platforms, and that's just the way I like to do my campaigns. And so that's exactly what this is right now. It's the combination of those two. So branding is just simply getting your face out there so that everybody remembers you. I will say this, branding can be insanely expensive. You have to do a ton to get in front of people enough for them to actually remember you. Okay, so keep that in mind. When you're talking branding through mass media, billboards, radio, television, you better have really deep motherfucking pockets. I'm telling you, that shit is expensive, right? I always tell people, if you're gonna do branding through mass media, unless you're Monster, the energy drink, just stop. Just stop right now. Fucking, it's not, if you're not Monster, you don't have enough money for that shit, okay? They do a great job of it. They do random shit that has nothing to do with energy drinks, and you're like, yeah, that's fucking Monster, that's great. It's because they've done a phenomenal job, all right? Let's get into number 4. Number 4 is PR. PR, public relations. A lot of people fuck this one up, okay? I have seen companies that call themselves PR companies, and they go get in a little advertising contract with a restaurant, and they just take some pictures of the food and post it on Instagram, and then they try to get you a commercial spot. That's not PR, okay? In and of itself, that is not PR. PR is public relations. It's showing you in such a light that allows you to create an actual good relationship with the public. It's a little bit branding, a little bit advertising, a little bit of this and that. PR is typically used when there's a problem, okay? It's typically used when there's a problem, or when you have campaigns to sell stuff and campaigns to market yourself this way, and you want to show that, hey, you're giving back to the community, you're doing good things, you know what I mean? That is then the PR factor to this over here. So a lot of companies don't need PR, or they hire a PR firm that doesn't actually provide PR. The way I like to look at it is like this. PR in of itself is not a marketing technique. PR is a message. So PR is the message you're getting across to the public. So you can do some PR work through social media. You can do some PR work through mass media. You can do PR through a lot of different avenues. But PR is the message to create a relationship with the public, not to sell anything, not to get them even to remember your logo and your face and your name. But when they see your face, your name, your logo, they have a warm, fuzzy feeling in their belly. Does that fucking make sense? It's very thin lines between things. But PR there's some phenomenal fucking PR firms. And there are some tiny little companies that fuck it up. There's some big companies that fuck it up, don't get me wrong. But that's a tough one. All right, it's important to understand that. So when a PR firm comes calling, they're not necessarily any different than some of these little advertising agencies that probably aren't going to get any results for you. They may be legit fucking PR, maybe it's one of the best things that your company can do. So just be aware, maybe study that a little bit more before you jump feet in. Fifth and final, it's kind of a weird one. I'm going to combine internal and referral. Internal marketing, referral marketing. A lot of people forget. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink while we're doing this. A lot of people forget. They spend all this money. They have all these ad campaigns and all of these external things. They forget that one of the single greatest marketing things you could possibly do is have your shit together internally. If somebody walks in your office and you have a shitty looking reception desk and the painting on the wall is old and it doesn't match anything, or every time you call or every time you visit, it's kind of a different process and it seems like a clusterfuck. Your internal marketing is shit and you need to get your shit together, okay? Internal marketing is what drives people to come back. You know, it takes so much money and effort to get a client for the first time. The last thing you want is for them to leave forever after you've done business with them. You want them to come back. Referrals and repeat business, that can be the cheapest marketing you do. Get people coming back. They've already done business with you. You've already done the legwork, okay? So make sure internally everything is designed to keep them happy, keep them coming back, keep them impressed. You want to make sure that their experience every time that they call, every time that they see you, every time that you set an appointment, it's always the same. That's why McDonald's is so successful. That and they're based around real estate, blah, blah, blah. We won't get into that. But the reason people go buy these stupid, cheap, shitty hamburgers is because every single time they go into McDonald's, anywhere in the world, it is exactly the same. They know what they're getting. It's going to taste exactly the fucking same every single time. Doesn't matter if you're in fucking, Illinois or Russia. It tastes exactly the same. I think they have McDonald's in Russia. I don't fucking know. I'll be real honest. Never been to Russia. I'm pretty sure they have McDonald's. Everybody has McDonald's, right? But that is why people go there. You can get every person watching this video could probably cook a cheeseburger better than McDonald's. You'll taste it and be like, this is much better than McDonald's. Yet you haven't sold 1 billion of those motherfuckers. They have. And that's why. Every single time you walk into one of their stores, it's exactly the same. You know exactly what to expect. And there's a comfort level involved with that keeps people coming back. That's internal marketing. All right? I hope this helped. I tried to speak fast, crank it out as quickly as I can, keep this thing under 15 minutes. And until next time.